Um, all right. Good afternoon, everyone. Namaskar. My name is Arjun Shrestha, and I'm the PT academic trainer and course and career advisor here in BMW Education Consultancy, Tasmania. So, as part of our regular series, we are really happy to come up with another session for especially for the students who are willing to apply for their 491 or 190. So today's discussion will be basically on how to write a top-notch career plan and commitment letter. Okay, so welcome you all. And firstly, I would like to quickly touch base that this is not going to be the migration advice, and at any cost, please don't take it as a solicited or migration advice. And if you ever need migration advice, feel free to reach out to us, and we will be able to guide you through according to your specific need. Okay, so let's jump to our today's topic. All right. So, as you already know that these two documents are very important for your state nomination, and we at BMW PT and BMW Educational Consultancy Tasmania, we try encouraging students to write amazing career plan and commitment letter so that they are not copying someone else, and when the case officer looks your application, they feel that you have done your due diligence, and the amount of effort you have put in your application will be clearly visible. So let's jump to the Yep. So, as per the recent announcement done by the State Growth and Tasmanian State Growth, they have said that they are highly encouraging students to use that 485 graduate visa to strengthen their application. So, for example, if you are you have just graduated from Tasmanian University or educational provider, please try using your graduate visa, which allows you to work full time, and that is your crucial opportunity to sharpen your skills or doing your internship or even looking for professional job in your required field. And usually the career plan is sort of a compulsory academic document that you have to submit as part of your application process. And most importantly, if your subject is not from your Tasmanian skilled occupation list, the State Growth asks you to write the career plan, and the commitment letter is pretty much compulsory to everyone, no matter if you are doing your subject or degree from TSL list or not. Okay, and now Tasmanian graduates, who have really strong prospect, you are highly encouraged to apply for your nomination. And as they say that meeting just the eligibility, a lot of students come here and they say that I have done my 1 year requirement, I have got skill assessment, will I get my nomination or not? But that is, simply meeting your criteria, and it is clearly mentioned in the State Growth website as well. If you go through that, you can clearly see it is mentioned there. Okay. And the other thing, the most important thing I would like to encourage and request students is please don't let someone else to write your nomination letter or career plan, and even your reference letter, which is written by your employer. Please don't write your reference letter, which is supposed to be written by your employer, right? So don't write yourself. And some employer, they actually said that just write it whatever you feel comfortable. So write it first, and we will sign it for you. That's what many employers says. But don't accept that, and you can't be in someone else's position to write that, right? So in terms of writing career plan and commitment letter, that should be written by you, and just take help from professional, or even the person who is experienced or who is really good at English. Just ask them to write that. Okay, but don't fully depend on someone else. And we especially here at BMW PT, we actually as part of PT academic program, we help students to write really crafted nomination, career plan, and commitment letter to help them to receive their nomination. And it is very competitive at the moment, so you know how important it is. All right, so let's jump to the career plan. Okay, sorry, I'll just sip of water. All right, so what we are going to include in our career plan. So career plan, basically, no matter in which industry you are, it might be hospitality, it might be accounting, nursing, whatever it is, the only thing it must contain is that your career plan, where you see yourself in next 3 to 4 years, once you get your full-time working rights, whether you have that perspective to get a professional employment in Tasmania or any other parts of Australia. So it is mandatory for graduates who does not have skill employment. And fair enough, most of the students, they don't really have professional job at this stage, given that they have limited work rights. And this is your opportunity to upskill yourself, and whatever you do, and try to put that evidence in your career plan, so that you have done your due diligence and you have done your hard work, and you are genuinely serious about your career. Okay, and you need to be, as I've said, you must be genuine and honest while writing and explaining your career aspiration. And the state growth, usually they want to see from the students who are committed to their studies. Make sure that you are going to your university or college, and have a good grade, and what else could be, and not just in your academic academic prospect, but you need to be involved in other areas as well. It might be extracurricular activities, or what you have done so far to sharpen your skills. Maybe learning other technical skills, like for accounting students you might do Zero certified course, MYOB, and other virtual internship that you get online. Don't just think that meeting the criteria will be sufficient for your nomination process. So be prepared, and you already know people who are already in Tasmania. How many people have arrived recently, and they have got pretty much, I think, 1,400 nomination places so far. I'm sorry if that figure is wrong, but and there are thousands of students coming from other states, and it is going to be very competitive. And how you are going to set yourself apart from other students? So it is basically trying to learn new skills, and doing volunteering jobs, or even doing the internship, and maybe setting your own businesses. Just have that evidence behind your career plan. So career plan is simply, you can't really write unrealistic things saying that I'll do this, I'll do that, and at the end of the day, if you don't have supporting evidence as part of your application, it's going to be really challenging, and they won't be believing you what you have written. And yeah, so, and a lot of students, people, they are doing accounting degrees, and they are working in some, like, safe or in any other industry, and they are trying to do something unrelated course, like nursing, or even community services degree, simply because that is in the Tasmanian skilled occupation list. But that is not going to be the case, as I'm not sure if you have gone through the webinar recently, done by State Department. So they have clearly said, and it is pretty much straightforward, right? So if you are passionate about some degree, and you are trying to do some totally unrelated course just because it is in TSOL list, it is not going to allow you to get the state nomination. So whatever you are studying, what you are passionate about, just follow your passion, follow your dream, and make sure that you are improving your skills on that particular area, and you need to elaborate how your degree and experience is going to help you to find professional employment in Tasmania in few years. Okay, so as a graduate, they don't necessarily look that whether if you have employment or not, but they are after how committed you are, how passionate you are about your designated studies. So in that particular field, you have to show your enthusiasm and how passionate you are. Okay, and what you have done outside of your studies, what you have done outside of your studies means, so many people, there are thousands of students who have done their 1 year study requirement there, and what are the other unique skills that is going to set you apart? Maybe you might want to do PTE, where you get 79 plus or 65 each. Maybe you can do some volunteering work in Tasmanian community. There are a lot of skills and strategies that you can follow to set yourself apart from other competitors. So being an average application is not simply providing you opportunity to be nominated by the government, because it is going to be very, very competitive. Okay, and the other thing, previously, is I have seen a lot of students writing career plan. They are simply writing more than 2 or 3 pages, and it doesn't really make sense. You are basically expressing your emotion, like let's say career plan. I have done this. The research has shown that Tasmanian economy is booming, blah blah blah. So they are pretty much generic information, and it doesn't show your due diligence, whether you have researched properly or not, how your occupation or how your skills is going to be in demand in Tasmania, and how you are going to contribute with your skills once you get that nomination. So don't try to provide generic information. Tasmania is beautiful, Tasmanian economy is booming, or something like I'm going to have baby here, so that I'm committed to living in Tasmania. So those are generic information, and anybody can write that. So it's not going to be something special. And if I was in a place to judge those applications, I'll find some other applicants who has actually gone out and done his or her research, so that they will reward, and they will actually notice that in your application. So just don't think that allowing someone to write your career plan is not going to help you at all. And I'm not trying to scare you at this point, but the thing is, I'm just trying to warn you, or just provoke you, so that by the time you finish your criteria, you'll be in the really strong position to get your nomination. And don't try to write more than 1 page. That's what they have advised, but they also said that we are not restricting people to write only 1 page. Just try to be concise and be on the point, so that you are not being emotional and writing something unnecessary. Okay. And now you also need to understand the Tasmanian job market when you are writing your career plan. So what does that mean? So let's say I'm from nursing background, and try to research, how Tasmanian, like the state of Tasmania, has opportunity here. So will the industry boom in next 3 to 4 years? And there might be research done by state government, and you can just go through those paper and see what is the employment perspective in your particular field. It might be accounting, nursing, engineers, whatever it is, right? So you can't simply say Tasmania requires many nurses future because it is in high demand. Don't just write the generic term, but try to be specific. This is the research done by, I'm giving you example. So let's say you can write, this is the research done by state growth in this year, and this is what they are expecting. And I think my existing skills and my future degree will help to, bridge that gap, or help to meet those skills required by the Tasmanian government. So if you try to connect those dots, your application or your career plan looks really strong, and I don't see any reason that you will get rejected for your state nomination. And other things regarding your career plan, what could be done. So apart from your studies, whether you have any let's say you are from accounting background, so there might be your professional accounting bodies like CPA, chartered accountants, IPA. So do you have, the professional bodies, have you been member of those agencies or not? So maybe for nursing there might be a FRA or something. If sorry if I'm wrong. So just be part of the your professional networking event, and try to attend career seminar, organized by your professional bodies like CPA, or I think that for the IT ACS, and just keep that evidence with you. And when you are submitting your application, you can actually put that, yeah, as evidence in your application, so that they will know that you have genuinely attended those events and learned something out of it. Just don't try to be generic. That's all. And try to link your studies, try to link your studies with your existing work experience. It doesn't have to be professional work, but you always can transfer that skill from one, like for example, I'm an accounting graduate, but if I'm doing something, let's say in hospitality industry, uh, I have a lot of transferable skills to put that into my professional accounting job when I actually get my nomination. And you can have soft skills, like how you communicate in front of others, how you present in front of other people, whether you have emotional intelligence. So these are all the soft skills you can always take from your previous job skills. And don't feel hesitant, whether if you are working as a cleaner, housekeeper, doesn't matter. And every whatever job you do, you'll always have something to learn and transfer it to your future profession. And don't feel hesitant about it. Okay. All right. And also the other one is include your future plans, and like what you are going to do once you get your nomination in your own career. Have that sort of aspiration. And continued professional development is very important in a professional career. So after finishing your masters, don't say that this is it. I don't want to do anything or anymore. Don't try to say that. Just try to say, after finishing my masters, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do in the future. And try to have evidence as well. So I'll give you my example. Let's say I have finished my master's in accounting, but at the same time, I was not in a compulsion to start my CPA, but I have started it. Why? Because it just shows that you are really serious about your career and you are passionate about that industry. How you can show that? You can actually show that admission slips or the invoice saying that this is what I'm doing at the moment, and it will help me in my career. So that's how you are trying to prove your statement. Don't just give you a statement, but you need to have valid evidence to prove your career plan as well. All right. And you also need to assure them that how you're going to find the skill employment after your graduation or after getting your nomination. Don't just give a link from Seek or any other employment website saying that this is the amount of salary I'm going to earn. Don't just write that. And they have clearly mentioned this in the webinar. Just I'm referring a lot of information from that and trying to synthesize that information for you guys. Okay. And the other thing is doing your own research, DYOR. And it is very unfortunate to say this, but people, especially from our community, I mean, it's a really sad thing to say that, but we don't prefer to do our own research. Even if it is a simple, minimal thing, we always try to. It's always good to ask to people, but the thing is, even trying to seek help for the minor things which could be easily found in internet is not a good thing. And if you can't do that as a person who is going to apply for your nomination, and if you can't do that, how you're going to be a professional person in future, right? So it's always good to do your own research and come up with different questions after having research, and don't just be parasite, or don't just depend on someone else and thinking that by paying money or paying that fee they will do on your behalf. Of course they'll do it, but it is you are the master of your seat. Okay, so nobody is serious than any other person. So always try to do your own research, share your unique experience, what you have experienced as a person that you have stayed in Tasmania, and just try to be yourself. Just share your unique story, and then only you'll be able to convince the state growth on your career plan. And they also say that don't just limit your job search on your field of studies. It could be anything. If you are doing if you are a nursing graduate, and don't just look for registered nurse occupation. Maybe you can find something in support worker, or even the customer service, or even in aged care, and so that it will give you transferable skills when you actually get a registered nurse job. And don't just stick to your own profession. Try to give priority to your profession, but at the same time try to find something on other areas as well, so that you can share your experience in your career plan. And as I have told already, don't just write generic statement like Tasmania is growing, giving employment statistics. I want to have babies. Please don't write that. I know it's a really good thing, of course, it shows your commitment, but it's a very generic thing to write. And don't just write it's beautiful place, don't just say that I have gone here, there. So don't write those information. Just quick touch base a little bit, but it doesn't show that your application is unique. And this is the key information, which is very important. Study what you are passionate about, not just your friend is doing community service and course, and you are like, okay, he's doing that and maybe I should do that as well. Don't just be in sort of like a herd. This is what called herd mentality. If he or she is doing, I think I must do that as well. But don't do that. Always follow your instinct, always follow your passion, and try to improve your skills, and do not just try to be a person in a like a bulk of other similar people. Try to be unique. Try to learn unique skills. Try to be unique personality, so that it is reflected on your career plan. Okay. And the other one is talk to your employers. If you have existing employers, talk to them. Is there any opportunity if I get my full-time working rights or nomination? Is there any way that I can get professional job? Maybe it's always good to ask, and don't just stay number. And if you don't ask people for the opportunities, the answer is always no. So always make sure in your existing employers, go and ask them. I've been working here since long time. I would be really grateful that if I get opportunity in this area, because this is what I'm doing. And if you be upfront and genuine, people will always appreciate you. And that's what it should be reflected in your career plan as well. And they will notice that. Trust me, they are going to notice that. Okay. And also do virtual internships, right? Don't just do your job and your 1 year study requirement. Don't just stick to that. Try to do virtual internship. And if you actually do research on, let's say in internet, there are many virtual internships which are free to do. If you go to Coursera, or there are a lot of online websites like edX, forage.com. So these are the websites where you can get to do a lot of professional virtual internship from reputed companies in Australia, like Commonwealth Bank, let's say ANZ, what else? Peters and Partners, like a big firms, right? So if you do that, it will even make your nomination application strong. How? By writing or mentioning that in your career plan. All right, I think I have spoke enough about the career plan. And as I've said, write it yourself. And if you need any help, just seek help from the people who are good at it. and it's not a bad thing to ask help. But if you solely are dependent on others to write it for you, and it is the big problem. Okay, and nobody can be yourself, and try to write your emotion. It's your opportunity to express yourself, what you want to achieve in your career, and how that particular set of skills is helping you to settle in Tasmania, and at the same time how it is going to help the Tasmanian state, so that you can be contributing to the economy and be a valued member of Tasmanian society. So you have to mention that as well. And please reach out to us, and we are more than happy to guide you through in regards to these. And we also provide samples, and as part of our PTE program, we actually help you to craft a really nice career plan. And now I'm going to next one. So that is commitment letter. So commitment letter is pretty straightforward. It's not a rocket science. It is, and it's all about whether you are committed to live in Tasmania or not. How you are going to commit living in Tasmania. Hang on, I'll just drink water. Yeah, so this is also going to be one page. Don't write more. And when we launch application of students, they have, of course, it's really nice to give you every details, but the case officers in state nomination department or state work department, they come up with thousands of applications every day. And if you simply say, when I came to Tasmania, I could breathe fresh air, or it is pretty much similar to my home country, and those are the information they will have to read each and every day. And if it becomes monotonous, it's not going to help you at all. So it is basically same like when you eat dumplings every single day. How do you feel? No matter how good it is, it is not going to taste really nice after a week, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, try to write something unique, in terms of your experience. Don't try to write generic. And commitment letter must include how committed you are, what you are going to do when you are in Tasmania, and what you have done so far. When you are saying that I'm committed, but based on what? Do you have evidence to prove that? Okay, so these are the areas you need to be very careful about it. And always make sure that when you come here, you have all the evidence, all the transactions you have in your bank account, and you also need to show the evidence how you are contributing in Tasmania, and whether you are going to live here permanently or not. Okay, so according to my instinct, I think the Tasmanian government has been aware about a lot of people getting nominated here in Tasmania and moving to different places. They are also closely monitoring that, and they have clearly mentioned that in their recent webinar. Just go through that webinar once again, and it will help you out to answer your many questions which you might have at the moment. All right, so contributing to the Tasmanian, so how you are contributing as a skilled migrant. Of course, people are doing generic jobs in retail or hospitality or anything, but how you are going to commit yourself so that you can be professional worker or professional worker in your certain field once you get your nomination, and how likely you are going to find professional employment in Tasmania, and why you are committed to live here comparing to any other state. So why you particularly chose Tasmania? Is it simply because because of nature, or is it simply because of easier migration pathway? Or it could be anything, but don't just provide generic information. Have strong evidence why you chose Tasmania to settle down here, and why you want to study and work here. and how you are going to contribute in future, how you are going to settle here permanently. Okay. And the other important term, and I would say terms and conditions here as part of your nomination is, whether you will be able to get whether you'll be able to earn the income threshold of $53,900 annually or not, how you are going to achieve that. If you are working at the moment, how you are going to meet that threshold, and if not, as a Tasmanian graduate, you are not in that position to work full time, when you are recently graduated student. But try to provide that evidence, how you are going to get that income threshold of 53,900 for 3 years, and what are the areas you are improving, or how you are improving your skills so that you can easily earn that threshold. So you have to mention that as well. Okay. And the other one is, don't try to exaggerate your commitment later. Don't try to sound desperate. Of course there are thousands of people looking for nomination, and of course everybody wants it desperately, but when you show that desperation, it doesn't look nice. Try to stay formal, try to convince them intellectually based on your evidence and why you think that you are the most deserving person for the nomination. Try to encourage them to believe in your story, believe in your career plan, believe in your commitment letter, so that you'll be contributing to the Tasmanian state, and at the same time you'll be setting up your career as well. So try to revolve that case. Don't just try to sound desperate, and don't give unrealistic story. Don't try to give them unrealistic story saying that when you are in your student visa, don't say that I have worked in many jobs, and it shows that we are human being, right? So we are supposed to balance our work and life and study as well. So they will notice everything, and don't oversell yourself. Sell yourself, convince them, but don't try to exaggerate and thinking that even if you said genuine things, they might not feel the same way that you do. And the other one is, don't let someone to write your job reference, which I've said, and ask for guidance and help with your colleagues, or especially those people who are already doing this for the many students and who have already got their nomination, and try to choose those professionals who are really serious about your career and getting you the nomination, and then not just simply copying and pasting someone else's career plan and nomination and just submitting your application. Remember, it's your future, right? It's your future. You have worked really hard, and don't let this sort of behavior or small minor mistakes to compromise your career. And be serious. And to those people who have recently arrived in Tasmania, this is going to be competitive. Don't feel challenged, but time will pass very soon. But use that 1 year of time to improve your skills, improve your careers, travel, and try to assimilate into the Australian society, community, visit to regional places, and so that you'll be a better person, and you'll have a lot of things to share when you actually write your commitment letter and career plan once you fulfill the criteria. Okay, so yeah, so basically these are the things, and if you are looking for further guidance, please feel free to visit us here in BMW PT and BMW Educational Consultancy Tasmania, and we are more than happy to help. Don't just keep your burning questions to yourself, please come to us. We are more than happy to have a chat. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And yeah, so this is it for today. And I would also like to inform you that we'll be doing weekly sessions every week, and I'll try my best to come up with other burning issues so that you have more, you'll be informed person by the time you apply for your nomination. If you have any questions, please feel free to inbox us, feel free to visit us. We are in 191 slash dash 193 Liverpool Street, Tasmania. So please visit us, and yeah, so we are more than happy to help you. Wish you all the best, and looking forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you. Namaste.